You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Good morning, Yankees universe, and welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, October 24th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my compañeros. I got my guy Damien Serrano, and I got the lovely Grace Monroe. All you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Grace, Damien, how are we doing on this World Series preview?
Man, I tell you what. First of all, every time I hear the beat come on, I'm just like, I feel like I'm in the Bronx again. So I'm just saying, I really do. I got my Yankee pink on. So listen, we ready, right? So yeah, World Series tomorrow night. My stomach's all bubbly, butterflies. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. What about you, Grace?
Y'all, we did not plan this out, but we are all three of us wearing our Yankees gear. I swear we did not plan this out. We are getting hype over here, getting so excited. I'm feeling great. I'm happy to be here with y'all to talk some Yankees Dodgers World Series. It's happening.
Yes, definitely. I want to shout out, everybody else that contributes. Shout out to my guy Ghost, who normally pops in normally on the panels. I haven't done a Twitter space in a long time just because I've been just super busy with everything going on. Hopefully we could get a Twitter space going. So shout out to my guy Ghost. Shout out to Damien. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to the guys from the Jet Show, Brent and Allen. They have been killing it with the new Jet Show. If you guys haven't seen it, the Jet Set podcast every Wednesday. Check it out. It is a dope show. And as well, shout out to the guys from the Pop Off every Friday. My guy Gene, Woody, Caleb, Nigel, they are killing it as well. Make sure you guys keep on supporting Uptown Sports TV. The NBA season just started. The WNBA, shout out to the Liberty for winning a championship. But before we get into any baseball talks, right? Before we get into the Yankees and the Dodgers, I just want to say something. The MLB baseball, the family, they lost a legend yesterday, Fernando Valenzuela. He passed away. He pitched for the Dodgers. He also pitched for other teams as well. Fernando Mania, a Mexican American, amazing human being, amazing Latino. I just want to take some time and just give some flowers to Fernando Valenzuela and to the Valenzuela family. And to anybody out there that, yes, this is a Yankee show, but if you're a Dodgers fan, we're all in this together. Yankees versus Dodgers in the World Series. I just want to take a few seconds to just give flowers to a legend who passed away, to him and his family. So now let's get into it. Shout out to Anthony Medina in the building. Me and Mano de la Isla. Good morning, Hector, Grace, and Damien. Anthony Medina, good morning to you. Alex Armante is in the building. Alex, how you doing? Truth always is in the building. Good morning to you. Of course, Theo Nosebleed section is in the building. Big Time Lou is in the building. My guy Jonathan, and of course Jacob Petruzzi. But Grace, that's something. Shout out to Theo Dennis as well. My guy DDV as well. Dennis, let me know if you're free to jump on later, and during the show. Dennis, shoot me a message. Let me know. I'll put it in the chat. I'll send you the link. But there's been something that has been grinding my gear. Grace and Damien. And I know you guys know what this is, right? But there's been a lot of chatter online. Bill Simmons started it with his podcast. Met fans started it the other day. And we're going to have to continue this corny narrative of a conversation until the World Series actually starts. And we got to talk about people saying that the Yankees had an easy lane to the World Series. My guy Christian Smith put it out there on Twitter. People saying saying the Yankees had an easy path to the World Series is one of the most room temperature IQ takes in sports. They literally had to take on the best bullpen in baseball and made that bullpen there. You know what? I don't want to repeat the expletive that's next to it, but when you look at it, the Cleveland Guardians had the best bullpen in baseball. Nobody could argue against that. When you look at the Kansas City Royals, they have the runner-up to the MVP in Bobby Witt Jr. This narrative that people are trying to paint that the Yankees had an easy passway to the World Series is idiotic. Because when you look at it, the Guardians, they had the second best record in the American League. the 4th best record in all of Major League Baseball. The Kansas City Royals, since the month of June, has been one of the best teams in baseball. They had a better record than the Yankees since the months of June towards the end of the season. So this narrative, can we stop it? I know there's a lot of sport fans that are trying to just pour salt on the room, but when you look at the matchups, when you look at the Yankees versus Dodgers, the Yankees starting pitching is better than the Dodgers. I don't care what anybody say.
Facts.
When you look at the bullpen, the end of the bullpen, Tommy Kahnle has yet to give up a run in the entire postseason. And that man only throws one pitch. He throws a changeup and they still can't hit it. I didn't know in 2024 the changeup is a new knuckleball. Nobody can hit Tommy Kahnle's changeup knuckleball, right? So Bill Simmons, I get it. I saved your receipt. I screen recorded it. I cannot wait until this World Series is over and then we get to actually have the conversation. Grace, Damien, sorry about the long-winded take right there, but my blood
It's
pressure.
all good.
Whoever wants to go first, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dan.
Bill Simmons, isn't he a Celtics writer? He's a Bostonian. So, of course, gracefully, a Boston head is going to say something bad about the Yankees. It's okay. You guys have been in last place the last 3 years. It's no problem. Then you got the Mets fans, salty as ever. You know, I get it. You guys, thought you guys were going to the World Series this year. I get it. Mind you, still get credit to you guys. Got a good team. Fact of the matter is, it's been since '86. So I get it. Listen, we're the evil empire again, and I love it. I eat it up, all right? I eat it up. I hear it all day in Tampa, and I hear from Rays fans. I'm like, come on, you all 5,000 of you in a stadium that fills 30,000, 40,000 people. Stop. So, when we go to a Rays game, it's more of a Yankee game because I feel bad for the Rays players. Every once in a while, I might even throw a clap in for a Yandy Diaz because it's all Yankee fans. So listen, I'm okay with it. Bring on the hate. You guys want to say it's a tough, a lackluster road, a soft road, that's fine. But when the Yankees win in 7, I don't want to hear a word from anybody. So Bill Simmons, like Hector said, we're going to keep those receipts. Mets fans, we're going to keep those receipts. Every fan talking ish, we're going to keep those receipts, and best believe that parade is going to say it all.
Go ahead, Grace.
I mean, the Guardians had the best home record in baseball. They had the 2nd best record in the American League. Who did you want us to play? Did you want us to play the 15th best record? We had the best. They had the 2nd best. So I don't really understand this argument at all. They had the best bullpen in the American League or in baseball, and they had the greatest closer ever, right? Better than Mariano Rivera. That's what I heard on the street. Oh, sorry about that. Too soon? We teed off Emmanuel Clase, okay? So please pull up your team's numbers versus Emmanuel Clase. Pull up your team's numbers versus the Guardians in their home stadium. I welcome you to pull up your team's numbers and put them against my New York Yankees.
Yeah. Oh, that Grace was giving the hot take right there. MLB baseball was like, Grace is killing it right now. Go ahead, Grace.
I got censored. It's like, when did I get cut off? I was just saying, put your team's numbers against the New York Yankees numbers, and then we can talk. We can talk turkey, okay? That's what we say in Texas. Then we can talk turkey. Other than that, I'm not trying to hear your noise. I'm not trying to hear your bitterness. Yeah. I'm not trying to hear about your plans to go to Cancun in the offseason in Boston or in Tampa or in, Baltimore, wherever you are. You know what I mean? Enjoy your time off. We're still playing baseball.
Yeah, I want to shout out a few people that's watching us on Instagram. My guy Kevin at Kevin NYC0816 says, you know what? She's not wrong. Absolutely. Grace Monroe is never wrong. Shout out to Kev. Shout out to Christy. Shout out to Franchise. If you guys are watching us on Instagram or on Facebook or Twitter, click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube, or you could go to YouTube, Uptown Sports TV. We are always having great conversations. But to piggyback off of what Grace and Damien said, because Bill Simmons also said, Juan Soto, he hit a home run off of some random pitcher that nobody knows about. Oh, okay.
What?
Hush that. But when you look at Giancarlo Stanton, who did Stanton hit that home run off to tie the game, Damien? Who was it?
Mr. K. Smith. Let's go. Oh, I'm sorry. And there was Cost, and there was also Clase, who had a 0.61.
There were so many, Damien.
a 0.61 ERA for the season.
Right.
Exactly.
So
And
come on.
people said Class A was the best closer in Major League Baseball, right? So and this is the argument that kills me, because if we can acknowledge that the Cleveland Guardians have the best bullpen in baseball, that means that this Yankees lineup, they've seen some elite pitchers come out that bullpen. They had to handle some of the best relievers in baseball. So to just poo on that and say, oh, well, it was easy. The Yankees just hit 230 in the postseason as a team collectively. Yes, as a team collectively, the Yankees did hit 230. But did you know what the Yankees did collectively as a team also? They had one of the best walk rates in the postseason so far. So if you want to say that the Yankees only had a 230 batting average, you need to add in their walk rate, because they were walking at a higher rate than they were in the regular season. And that's going to be the key for the Yankees. When you look at the LA Dodgers, who have a team arguably with a worse pitching staff, starting staff coming into this series than the Yankees, they have to key in on that. Work those starting pitchers, get into that bullpen early in the third and the fourth inning. In the last game against the Guardians, we was in that bullpen in the second, third inning. We was in it early. That's what you have to do. Get in that bullpen early so you could try to get good results.
Not to mention that Cole Reagans, Seth Lugo against the Royals, Ursack.
I mean, the second to last game. Sorry, not the last game, but you know what I mean. Go ahead, my fault.
And the Kansas City Royals, nobody on the LA Dodgers staff has the ERA of Cole Reagans. Nobody on the Dodgers staff has the ERA of Seth Lugo. So anybody can say what you guys want to say. Nobody on the Mets had an ERA of either of these guys. All right. So the Yankees have gone through a gauntlet of pitching, which, thank the Lord, because now this is going to set us up. Not saying that the Dodgers are weak, but it's setting us up for a weaker pitching staff. Because the Dodgers bullpen is not as good as the Cleveland Indians. And just like the Indians, their bullpen is a little spent. Their starting pitching is not as good as the Kansas City Royals. So again, the Yankees have gone through a gauntlet of pitching. Maybe not offensively, okay, but when it comes to pitching, and let's face it, pitching wins championships. When it comes to the postseason, the Yankees have faced it all. So they can say what they want, but listen, the proof is in the pudding.
I want to shout out my guy I-95 Bully in the chat, who's watching us on Twitter. Shout out to my guy Bully. Bully says Dodgers caught a break from the Mets. Their bullpen allowed a ton of base runners. The Mets didn't capitalize. They can't pull that on us. And that's the thing that I wanted to highlight. Thank you for bringing that up, Bully.
Facts.
In the last game, the Mets had runners on every inning. And I think a big factor in that game was the fact that Sean Manaea came out there early and laid the goose egg. The Dodgers had a 6-0 lead like that, right? And I think that put a lot more pressure on the Mets hitters to try to capitalize in big time situations with runners in scoring positions, with the bases loaded. So if the Yankees starting pitching, right, can keep the game as close as possible and hand it off to the bullpen, I trust that our bullpen can outlast the Dodgers bullpen if we're going inning for inning. When you look at the Yankees starting staff, what was the most runs our starters gave up in any game in the postseason? Do you guys remember that? Have any of our starters given up more than 3 or 4 runs?
No.
Rodon had the most runs giving up, and that was 4 runs against the Kansas City Royals. That was it. That was it. We're not giving up 6 runs or 8 runs like the Mets did, like other teams did against the Dodgers, right? Sorry, Grace, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was coughing. I had to mute my mic so I didn't cough in y'all's ears. No, absolutely. I think, people were giving hell to the Guardians for walking, or was it the Royals for walking all the Yankees? And I'm like, no, we worked those walks. Why are y'all saying that those pitchers are allowing the walks? We are earning those walks. We are out there hunting for those walks, and that's something that we do so well. So if the Dodgers pitching staff allows us to do that, we will just walk in runs all day long, and we will punish their rotation with walks if they allow us to do that. I'm certain that that's a part of their game plan is we can't walk these Yankees. What are they going to do? I was looking into their pitch mix as a team, as a whole, and the Dodgers throw more four-seam fastballs than any other team in baseball. They are well above the average that teams throw. They were above average this year. They were above average last year, although I think they were number 2 last year, but they were number 1 this year. The Yankees crush four-seam fastballs. I don't know why everybody isn't talking about this. Now, again, I'm sure their game plan has to be, let's throw less four-seam fastballs. But they're not used to that. They're not as elite at that. They're not practiced at that. So when the going gets tough and the pressure is on, what happens with the pitcher? They go to the pitch that they're the most comfortable with. For the Dodgers, across the board, that's the four-seam fastball. What do they not hit well? They don't hit the changeup well. What do the Yankees throw? The changeup. All of our pitchers throw the changeup, I think. They really hit the sinker a lot. So I'm looking at Clay Holmes. I'm looking at some of Tim Hill. Yeah, Tim Hill, Clay Holmes, maybe Kirk Cousins. Jake Cousins. Y'all got to be careful with the sinker. Of course, that's going to be in our game plan. It's going to be very interesting to see how this series plays out. I mean, number 1 road team versus home field advantage. How is that going to work out, right? So everyone's giving, the money line to the Dodgers because they have won 4 more games than us and they have the home field advantage. Well, we like the road advantage. So that kind of negates itself out, right? They have an amazing lineup. We have an amazing lineup. That kind of negates itself out. Their pitching rotation is torched. Our pitching isn't as deep. So, it's so even with a slight advantage to the Yankees, in my opinion. Just like this much. So it's going to be really, really great. Instant classic. I'm calling it now. I mean, the last time, y'all, I'm going off. I'm sorry. I have so much to say. The last time we had a World Series with this many future Hall of Famers, I mean, this many stars, many, East Coast, West Coast. I mean, it is all there. Yeah. This series is going, you guys get some popcorn, settle in. This is a once in a lifetime matchup.
This literally is a Hollywood movie script, because when you look at it, you got one side, you got Shohei Ohtani, right? You have Yamamoto, you have Mookie Betts, you have Freddie Freeman, and then on the other side, you have Aaron Judge, you have Juan Soto, Garrett Cole, right? When you look at the box office names that are on both sides, and then you add in the legend that both franchises have when it comes to the Yankees and the Dodgers. The Yankees and the Dodgers, surface level, face level, they have so much history going back and forth in the World Series, dating back to when the Dodgers were in Brooklyn, Jackie Robinson, right? Dating to when the Dodgers left to LA, and then in 1981 when the Yankees faced the Dodgers in the World Series, and then a few years prior, Reggie Jackson had his Mr. October moment against the Dodgers in the World Series. So there's so much history from both franchises, both fan bases as well. Like I said, I still remember when Dodgers fans showed up to Yankee Stadium to have a parade during this summer of 2024. I'm not going to let that die. Yankee fans never forget when the Dodgers showed up. But I want to take a second here. I want to pause. We got over 60 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button, hit that subscribe button, interact with the emojis. We are on our way to 5K subscribers, and we could really use you guys' help. We got over 60 people watching us collectively, so please smack that like button. Let me see. Let me just open. Like Alex says, no hate speech or bullying will be allowed. If you're fined violating the terms and services of YouTube or our guidelines, you will be removed from the chat without warning. This is intended to be a safe space so we could talk Yankees. Shout out to my guy Future, who's in the building. My guy Romeo is in the building. Romeo, you handsome son of a bitch, you. How you doing? My guy Leon says the Yankees smash righties. They face the best bullpen in Cleveland, and these analysts really think the Dodgers have the advantage. I really don't see it. I think the Yankees got it. And to piggyback off what Grace said, When you look at the Dodgers starting staff, right? Shout out to Hector Cruz in the chat as well. Shout out to FL Diver, my guy Crackle. That's how you doing. Ocha Cowboy fan, always being the troll in the chat. Ocha Cowboy fan, we do love you. One thing I'm going to say, when you look at the starting staff from the LA Dodgers, this is no shade on this pitcher that I'm going to bring up, right? Jack Flaherty. He's their ace for the Dodgers as of right now, right? Yes, Garrett Cole has gone through injuries, his fair share of injuries as well. But if you were to ask me, who do I trust? Garrett Cole or Jack Flaherty? I'm taking Garrett Cole every day of the week. I'm taking Garrett Cole every time. What are we talking about? Right? And then when you look at who's there, who's the second pitcher behind Jack Flaherty for the Dodgers? Their bullpen.
Behind
right,
that
Walker Buehler, who's not even the same Walker Buehler. So if you ask me, who do I trust? Walker Buehler or Carlos Rodon? We already said it. I trust Carlos Rodon because Walker Buehler is not the same. He doesn't have the command. He doesn't have the velocity. Go ahead, Dame. My fault for cutting you off.
No, you good. And, you know, you got Yamamoto, who they only plan on starting in LA. I think for two reasons. Number one, the weather. This guy's coming off a rotator cuff injury. Right, so pitching in cold weather, obviously that's going to stiffen up that rotator cuff. Secondly, he hasn't pitched more than 4 innings in the postseason. That's for a reason. So Yamamoto, as great as he is, and as much as I wanted him, that injury is going to play big for the Yankees in this series. So in Flaherty, he's gassed. You know, Dave Roberts can say all he wants that he was under the weather in that last game with the Mets. I'm sorry. You don't leave a guy out there who's under the weather sick and let him get lit up for 8 runs and continue to throw him out there inning after inning if he's sick. So that's just an excuse for Flaherty. His velo was down. So I'm not worried. Game 1 is the Yankees, point blank period. Game 2, toss up with Yamamoto. And again, the only thing we really got to fear with Yamamoto is that split is in order. If he has no split, then all he can rely on his fastball. And his fastball is not good enough to handle the Yankees bats. So the Yankees have an opportunity to realistically, I know it sounds crazy, but to go up and back to New York 0-2. And for all those Dodger fans and for all those other fans that want to bring up the regular season, this team is not the same team. There is no DJ LeMahieu in the lineup. There is no Trent Grisham starting. There is no Jahmai Jones pinch hitting. There's Garrett Cole now. There's Juan Soto now. These guys did not play in that series. So understand something, for all those people who want to bring up the regular season, this is not the same Yankee team. So y'all can take that somewhere else.
I mean, how often do we get a World Series with number 1 versus number 1? I feel like it hardly ever happens anymore because the wild card teams come in. You know, last year we had 2 wild card teams in the World Series. You know, you can talk about the last, 5 or 10 years where the number 1 team would get knocked out. They'd have the best record all year long, and then they would get knocked out in the playoffs. This year, it's actually going to be the number 1 team of the American League versus the number 1 team of the National League. What is everyone complaining about? You're complaining that a little team, that sneaked into the wild card didn't make it all the way? This is number 1 versus number 1 heavyweight matchup. If you like baseball, you're welcome.
Also, too, right? When people bring up that the Dodgers won the series during the regular season, yes, they won 2 out of 3 games, right? Damien, Grace, myself, us Yankee fans, we admit that we weren't 100% healthy, right? Even with not being at 100% healthy, we won the first game 6-4. The second game, Luis Hill, he got shelled, he got destroyed. We lost that game 11-3. The Dodgers won in extra innings, 2-1 in extra innings in the 11th innings when Ian Hamilton gave it up. That's the only reason they won, is because in extra innings, Ian Hamilton gave it up. And you're going to tell me if we had Garrett Cole, if we had this team right now, we would still lose 2 out of 3? I don't believe that.
I don't see it.
I remember Teoscar went off in that series too. He
Oh.
was going crazy.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's the thing. Teoscar Hernandez, he always goes off.
Always.
You know, he's always been a Yankee killer, dating back to his days with the Toronto
The Blue
Blue Jays.
Jays.
So
Yeah.
that's somebody that we have to make our focus
for
when it
sure.
comes to the matchups, when it comes to Matt Blake and the pitching staff trying to figure out how their game plan through the LA Dodgers lineup. That's the one person we have to watch out for. And there's a possibility that Shohei Ohtani may pitch during this series. I'm not sure if they're just throwing it out there just to throw the Yankees off, but that may be a possibility. But Damien, you brought it up on the last show. His ERA's over 10 when he's pitching at Yankee Stadium.
Let him pitch in the Yankee Stadium.
Let Shohei Ohtani pitch
Please.
at Yankee Stadium. I want to bring up another topic real quick because I know we could keep on going and going and going, but we got to talk about Juan Soto. Right,
Birthday
shout out
boy.
to Fireside Yankees. They put it out there. Juan Soto at 19 years old was absolutely dominant in his only World Series appearance in 2019. He hit 333. He had an OPS of 1.179, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 9 hits. The Yankees will love to see this in the World Series. And I was watching a video.
God.
Right, I was watching a video with David Ortiz talking about Juan Soto at 21 years old. Juan Soto is 25 right now. David Ortiz says the way that Juan Soto attacks the strike zone, the confidence that Juan Soto has when it comes to knowing what's a strike and what's a ball, David Ortiz said he didn't get that confidence until he was 28, 29 years old. He says Juan Soto has it at 21. Again, this is an old video. Juan Soto is 25 right now. You see how Juan Soto, when he locks in and he just cancel out all the noises, he is very intimidating in that batter's box. I've never seen in my lifetime a hitter that dominates a pitcher, an opposing pitcher, while having an at-bat the way that Juan Soto does. The last player that I can say had that form of intimidation was Albert Pujols when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals, and he used to rock back and forth like that. That is the last time I've seen a hitter be able to put fear or be able to dominate an opposing pitcher the way that Juan Soto does. And I think Juan Soto will be the difference maker in the World Series if the Yankees get a championship or if the Yankees don't. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
Juan Soto is the only guy I know and ever seen in the box stare a pitcher down, right? He'll foul your ball off and then look at you straight in your eye and basically tell you got nothing for me. The interview after the Gaddis home run, he was asked, what was your thoughts? He said, I knew I had this guy. He had nothing for me. For a guy to come out and just sit there and say about another pitcher, this guy had nothing for me. I had him the entire time. Listen, there's no words. Generational doesn't describe what this kid is, right? It's a whole nother level, something that we've never seen. All right. Judge is generational. We all know that. The 60+ home runs, so on and so forth. But the way Soto controls that box mentally, not physically, but mentally, takes over every pitcher, whether you get him out or not. Because if you got him out the first time, best believe he remembers it. He puts it in the back of his mind. That next at bat, he's gonna crush you. So listen, good luck, Jack Flaherty. Good luck, Yamamoto. Good luck, bullpen. You guys are in for it. Good luck.
Go ahead.
I mean, and he'll be facing righties the whole time, virtually the whole time. I mean, what Juan Soto, first of all, Juan Soto is this player all year long. Let's be clear right now. This is not a slumpy kind of guy. This is a guy who, even if he's not hitting, he will work walks on you. He will not expand the zone. He is that confident all the time. And I didn't really fully understand it until I watched an entire season of this man. He doesn't give a single at-bat away. Not in March, not in May, not in August, not anytime. He is locked in. He is in control the entire time. It's absolutely incredible. I've never seen a player that locked in all the time. It is remarkable. and he's on fire right now.
Mhm.
And he's about to enter into free agency. I mean, this is just a crazy, a perfect storm for Juan Soto. I'm looking for him definitely to go off. He is my pick for World Series MVP. I wish Aaron Judge to win it, but I think I would put money on Juan Soto winning World Series MVP. I mean, this kid is something crazy.
Yeah,
And happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I was about to
Game
say
one.
happy birthday to Juan
Feliz
Soto.
cumpleaños.
Feliz cumpleaños a ti, my guy. Because when you look at it, game one of the World Series, we're going to need Juan Soto is going to be the number one free agent in the market. We already understand that. His performance against the Cleveland Guardians shot his contract expectations, the negotiating, the start of it. I'm sorry, can you hear me? The start of it, we all thought was going to be 600 million. After that series against the Guardians, the starting point is 700 million, right? After this World Series performance, the starting figure is going to be 800 million.
The limit does not
depending on how Juan Soto performs in the postseason. If you're Scott Boras, you love this. If you're the Yankees, you 50-50 love this, and at the same time you hate it because you know you have to pay that man. And I get it. I know a lot of people are saying that, you know, the ticket prices for the World Series are astronomical. The cheapest ticket is $1,200, $1,300. It's the second tier market, right? Major League Baseball makes the prices up for the second tier market in the World Series. I understand that. The revenue that's generated, it is shared amongst every team. Every team gets a piece of this. So the Mets get a piece of it. Every team that's in the World Series, they get a piece of this. I bring that up to say this. I understand that all the money that is flowing through Yankee Stadium, not all of it will be the Yankees at the end of the day. But I tell you this, at least 50% of it will. So with that 50%, you better sign Juan Soto to whatever he wants. If it's an $800 million contract, you sign that man to an $800 million contract. What's the difference between the Yankees in 2024 and 2023? 2023, we ain't make the postseason. We have no Juan Soto. In 2024, what do we have? We have Juan Soto, and we are in the World Series. And I bring that up because Brian Cashman, there's been a lot of chatter about Cashman. I'm not sure if you guys heard his comments that he said about the Houston Astros. But in this instant, I have to agree with him, right? Because if that team was suspended, right, if we could acknowledge that team did cheat, what he said was on par. Was it the right time to say it? I don't think it was the right time to say it because we're going into a World Series game. You may have added some extra distraction away from your team when the focus point should be the LA Dodgers. But is he wrong in saying it? Absolutely not. Would I have said it at the end of the World Series during the offseason? Absolutely, 100%. Fuck the Houston Astros. I'm sorry to say that. F the Houston Astros. Their fan base are horrible. I'm so happy that the Houston Astros are not in the postseason anymore. They got eliminated early, rightfully so. You had a good run, but F the Houston Astros. I'm sorry if I was unprofessional with that last part. Go ahead.
Try living in Texas. It is hell out here, okay? Trust me. I hate the Astros. I'm not even mad at Brian Cashman for bringing it up. Bring it up. Bring it up 24/7 for the rest of your life. I don't even care. People are like, oh, are the Yankees over that by now? That was years ago. No, I'm not over it, and I'll never be over it.
No.
The Astros, their fans, and fuck those trash cans.
Yeah. They stole an MVP from Aaron Judge.
Yes.
They stole a World Series appearance from the New York Yankees.
And they paid no consequences.
And I'm going to live on this hill. If the Houston Astros didn't cheat the way that they did that season, Luis Severino would have never hurt his shoulder. He would have never went into that game in Houston trying to overthrow his fastball because they knew his slider was coming and they weren't swinging. If it wasn't for the Houston Astros, Luis Severino would still be a Yankee right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Probably, no doubt about it.
No, but no, talking about Soto, right? Because this is something that, you know, Fireside Yankees did bring up. What's your expectations for Soto, Damien? You can start it off and then throw it over to Grace, and we'll cycle on for the comments. Go ahead, bro.
Expectations are exactly what he's done all season, all playoffs long. He's been the catalyst for the entire offense, right? Gleyber Torres gets on base every single game, starts it right off the bat. Whether it's the first pitch, whatever pitch, Gleyber's either getting a single or he's working a walk. Soto comes back, he gets on base. He's either hitting doubles, singles. Last at bat was a home run. Soto's going to be Soto, and we all know this. And there's never a doubt when it comes to that. You can doubt Judge, you can doubt G, you can doubt Volpe, you can doubt everybody in the lineup. There's one person that you cannot doubt. There's one person that you never have a question about, and that's Juan Soto. The fact of the matter is that's what we have, and that's a key to our success. But the key to success, Soto can't do it on his own. He's going to get 4 or 5 at-bats a game. So we need this to be a complete team win in every single way, because this is the Dodgers, right? And I'm not taking anything away from that. Their lineup from top to bottom is deep, extremely deep. You go from Freddie Freeman, who may or may not play. Let's hope he doesn't. Max Muncy, Mookie Betts, Teoscar, Tommy Edman, the LCS MVP. So they're extremely deep. So we need all hands on deck. We need Judge. We need G to continue to do what he's doing. Volpe, continue to do what you're doing. Jazz Chisholm, if Jazz is not going to step up, Boone, I get it. You side with your guys, but please start Waldo. Put Waldo at third base and see what you can get out of him. But this is all hands on deck. But Juan Soto is going to be Juan Soto no matter what.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Damien, and that's the guy who I'm really looking at to step up in this series is Jazz. Jazz, I love you. You got to come with it, okay? You said you wanted that smoke. You said you wanted that spotlight. You were looking forward to the postseason. You were looking forward to the World Series. You were looking forward to the national televised. All eyes on you. Here we go. Here we go. You got your wish. Now it's time to come on with it, because we need you as a lefty with the mismatch of all these pitchers who barrels up fastballs at such a rate. You're going to see fastballs. You are going to see them. So can you come through? We need you. We need you now. Now, I have no problem with Cabrera. Y'all know I love Oswaldo Cabrera. I would love to see him get some more time. But if Jazz could actually make a difference, then we're going to win the World Series. You can quote me right now. If Jazz Chisholm Jr. goes off and has any sort of production, even just mid-level production, we're going to win the World Series.
I have something that's maybe interesting to you. Do you know Jazz Chisholm's stats for his career versus the LA Dodgers? Do you happen to know what they are?
They're beautiful. Over 300 average.
Jazz Chisholm, he has a 316 batting average. He has 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, 9 runs scored in 14 games against the Dodgers for his career. Do you want to know? Does anybody want to know what Giancarlo Stanton's stats are versus the Dodgers for his career?
Monstrous.
He has a 275 batting average. He has 47 hits, 14 home runs, 36 RBIs, 23 runs scored, and 46 games. So let me put that into context. In 46 games he has played against the Dodgers, he has 47 hits, which means he is averaging more than a hit per game, literally more than a hit per game against the Dodgers for his career. And then in 2015, he hit a home run that left Dodger Stadium. I just want to refresh people's memory. And the All-Star game a few years ago, he also was the All-Star game MVP because he hit a home run at Dodger Stadium. So yeah, if you're
Judge.
betting, yeah, and Judge as well. And if you want to bet money, or if you want to look at the deeper numbers, the Yankees on the road are a better road team than they are at the stadium.
The best road team in all of MLB.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just want to take a quick second. We have over 80 people watching us collectively. We have 48 people watching us on YouTube. If you guys can smack that like button, let's try to get the likes to as close as 50 as possible. We're sitting on 23 likes. Please smack that like button. Shout out to my guy Chris K. I love my guy Chris K with the $5 super chat, helping us keep the lights on. Chris said, if Jazz continues to struggle, will we see Oswaldo pinch hit or possibly start over Jazz? And I think Grace was answering it. Personally, me, keep it as it is. Keep it as it is. Keep Jazz Chisholm there, right? If you have to pinch pinch run Oswaldo for Anthony Rizzo late in the game, you could do that because Oswaldo could be a defensive replacement at first base. Let's see what Jazz can do against the Dodgers in the first couple of games. If we come back to Yankee Stadium and Jazz Chisholm is 0 for 8, 0 for 10, then let's entertain that conversation. Let's see what Jazz Chisholm can do on the road, because hopefully that builds up some momentum for Jazz coming back to Yankee Stadium. Because if he comes back to Yankee Stadium going 0 for 8, 0 for 10 against the Dodgers in the first 2 games on the road, Yankee fans are going to boo Jazz Chisholm. Let's just be honest. True. But if Jazz Chisholm goes off in the first 2 games, has a home run, has some at-bats to the solid, gets on base, steals some bases, Yankee fans would cheer for him going into game 3, and I'll keep Jazz Chisholm in the game for that. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, y'all?
Would I do it, or would the Yankees do it? I don't think the Yankees are going to do it. I don't think, even if Jazz goes 0 for whatever, I don't see them benching him. I think that Oswaldo Cabrera will get reps at first, most likely, because as we know, Anthony Rizzo is still dealing with the 2 broken fingers in his hand, and he's been dealing with a lot of swelling. They were saying that, after the games, he's been having trouble getting the swelling go down. So the back-to-back games are really tough for Anthony Rizzo right now. So who knows, maybe coming off of a day's rest. Right now, he'll be fine, right? He'll be ready to go for game 1 in my summation. And then maybe game 2, but then there's a day off, right? But then the 3 games at home, we might see some Oswaldo Cabrera in that time, because the back-to-back games might be too hard for Rizzo. But I don't see them sitting Jazz. I really, really don't. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they like the upside, the possible upside of Jazz more than the possible upside of anybody else on the team. And so I think we're just going to have Jazz come on. He's just going to have to, y'all. He's going to have to.
Jazz is going to have to turn it up. Go ahead, Dame.
I think Hal Steinbrenner is going to make Jazz sit down because he offered $700 million of Hal's money. So he might be skipping a game or 2. No, I'm just playing.
That's funny. Damien with the jokes today.
No, but no, realistically, what do you think Hal Steinbrenner's thoughts were when Jazz Chisholm said that? Hal's like, come on, my guy, shut up.
Man, jeez. And mind you, Meredith tried to walk away. He made sure he grabbed the mic back and said, $700 million. All right, Jazz.
You're cut off, Jazz.
We're going to take that out of your salary.
I one thing I got to say is I'm excited the way that I can't say I'm excited. I appreciate the way that the Yankees have embraced Jazz Chisholm.
Yes.
And the way he carries himself, right? Shout out to my guy Faris. He was on last week from Big League Views. My co-worker from Latino Sports. He interviewed Jazz Chisholm, and you just see like how down to earth Jazz Chisholm is. Jazz Chisholm is really a baseball fanatic that loves the game of baseball, and he loves the fact that he's playing on the New York Yankees. So to be with the Yankees, to be a big fan of Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton, and Aaron Judge, and to be in the postseason, you can see that he feeds off of it, right? Yes, his performance is not what we would want. We would rather see more stats from Jazz Chisholm, but I do like the game that he has, and I do think that he still has something left in the tank to show Yankee fans in the postseason. And I think Jazz Chisholm could be a real big X factor in the World Series against the Dodgers, being the fact that he plays a solid third base. He can get on base. He can steal you a few bags. If he's on first base, he could be on third base in a blink of an eye. And I think, especially in the postseason, those extra tools, if you use them correctly, you can go a long way. Like the Yankees lost in 2004 against the Red Sox because the manager of the Dodgers was a speedster and he was able to get on base and he stole second and stole third base. Like that's the reason why the Red Sox run speed plays in the postseason. Yeah. And if Jazz Chisholm can get on, and if Anthony Volpe, who I think is having an amazing postseason run, if Anthony Volpe can get on, he is someone that people are sleeping on, and he is just flying under the radar because other people are stepping up and other people are producing. producing, if Juan Soto wasn't producing, and if Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton wasn't producing, and it was all left on Anthony Volpe, I don't think Anthony Volpe will have the numbers he's having. But because those guys I've mentioned, they are performing at the level that they're performing, it allows Anthony Volpe to just feed off of that energy and go out there and perform and just play baseball.
I kind of think. Oh, go ahead, Grace.
I was just going to say, Anthony Volpe does so well when the pressure is off of him. I think we've seen that illustrated all year long. You know, we put him up to the leadoff spot, and we know what happened there. I mean, but when he was in the bottom half of the order and there's no pressure on him because other people are hitting, other people are slugging, he's not trying to, be a hero with every swing, and he can just focus on his game. He really, really flourishes in that environment. Go ahead, Damien.
No, I was going to say, the front office, when we made that Jazz move, they contacted two people. They got Derek Jeter's opinion, and they got CeCe Sabathia's opinion. And I'm going to give the front office credit for not trying to neuter Jazz and letting him be himself. Because I think somehow, some way, Jeter and CeCe came to him and said, listen, this kid will be amazing for you guys. He'll be locked down for you guys as long as you don't Yankeefy him, so to speak. As long as you don't try to button him up, put that three-piece suit on him, and be businesslike with him. If you let Jazz be Jazz at a certain level, then I think you have yourself a player. And getting that grace from Jeter, getting that grace from CeCe, that speaks volumes because those guys don't necessarily, especially Jeter. We all know Jeter is not going to put his neck out for anybody. But for him to do that for Jazz, that again speaks volumes to me. And again, I give credit to these guys, Boone, Cashman, these guys for not giving him and not making him the Yankee PR guy, right? Because the Yankees, obviously, they teach their guys how to speak to the media. It's a very strict way the Yankees do things. And so far, so good. The Yankees have allowed Jazz to be Jazz. Thank God, because I think that's allowed him to fit in perfectly. I think that's allowed him to play third base perfectly. And hopefully, he'll come back in this playoffs, in this last World Series, and be Jazz, the Jazz we know he can be offensively.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what Yankee fans want to see. We want to be able to support our guys. We want to be able to cheer for our guys. I'm not trying to boo for any Yankees that are in the postseason, right? Whether it's Giancarlo, whether it's Aaron Judge, whether it's Carlos Rodon, whether it's Jazz Chisholm, whether it's Gleyber Torres, I'm trying to root for my guys. And 15 years has been a very long time, right? And for us to be back in the World Series after 15 years, it just feels so right. So when you have all these narratives and when you have like different conversations happen about the Yankees having an easy path to the World Series. Copy, if that's what you want to label us and label the Yankees as an underdog, okay, we'll be the underdog. The one thing that to be a spoiler, right? Because when you look at what the Dodgers are doing with Yamamoto and with Shohei Ohtani, they're trying to make LA the destination for future Japanese stars and future Japanese players to want to come to the U.S. when they come to the Major League Baseball. They want their players to go to the L.A. Dodgers. And it hit me last night in a very upsetting fashion when I realized that's what Major League Baseball is doing. That's what the Dodgers are doing. And that's what teams from, not just teams, but the Japanese players are doing. You guys know how I'm big into Power Rangers, big into anime. So everybody knows that, right? Yeah. One of my favorite, right? And it kicked off the Power Ranger crave, Ultraman. Ultraman was one of the first Super Sentais I ever seen growing up. Super Sentais is what they call Power Rangers over there in Japan. And Ultraman was one of the first ones that I saw. They just re-released Ultraman with Netflix, right? And the new Ultraman, he's a baseball player that plays for the Yomiuri Giants, and he plays for a Major League Baseball team. Do you want to know what Major League Baseball team they have that man playing for? The LA fucking Dodgers. And I see what they're trying to do. I see the way that they're trying to spin the pop culture relevancy when it comes to the LA Dodgers. And I bring that up to say this. No matter where you go in the world, no matter if you're across the seas, no matter where you are at, everyone knows who the New York Yankees are. Everybody knows what New York City and where New York City is. If you just to ask some random person in a random country, hey, can you just name me a city from the US or from Japan? 9 times out of 10, they would name you New York City before they would name you Tokyo. And I put money on that. And I bring this up to say that no matter what you do, no matter what money you spend, the New York Yankees and the Yankee brand will always be number one. Not the LA. You guys didn't even originate in LA. You guys are from Brooklyn. You guys were the Brooklyn Bums. All right, you guys didn't originate in LA. And if you guys really get messy, the way that you guys made the stadium, the Chavez regime, the way you guys flooded that area and kicked out all the native and indigenous people that lived in that community so you could build your stadium, go F yourself. All Yankees all day. Sorry.
Yo, Hector's been on one today, guys.
No,
He's been on one.
No,
Don't mess with his don't mess with his anime. I'll tell you that right now.
It is time for the Yankees to reclaim the throne, the Iron Throne. Okay, I don't know about Ultraman, but I mean we could talk about Game of Thrones. Like it's time for the dragon to come and sit back on the Iron Throne. Okay,
yes,
it is time. It's been 15 years. And we belong at the top, and we're going to reclaim that. Dude, Hector, did you see Hector Cruz's question in the chat?
Hold on, man. Let me bring it up. Hold on.
I wanted to hear what y'all have to say about this to change the subject. Okay. Ooh.
Can Gleyber earn a Yankees contract with a good World Series, or is he done? I tell you this right now. Before the postseason, if I was Brian Cashman, right? New phone, who this? To Gleyber Torres and Gleyber Torres representation. Right now, if I'm Brian Cashman, all right, let's sit down. Let's have the conversation. Because seeing what Gleyber Torres has done, not only in this postseason, but from the middle of August up until now, it's like, okay, we're working with something. Am I sold 100% on Gleyber Torres? No, I'm not 100% sold on Gleyber Torres. Would I entertain it? Couple of years, market value, maybe, but priority is Juan Soto. I'm not making Gleyber Torres a priority over signing Juan Soto. We've signed Juan Soto first. We address our bullpen. How about this? If I was to list my 5 priorities for the offseason, Gleyber Torres is my last priority.
Yes.
I think that's the easier way for me to say it.
The only way they re-sign Gleyber Torres is if they give him the contract DJ should have got, which is 4 years, $60 million. The only way. $15 million a year. That's the only way Gleyber Torres will ever get re-signed. If not, and we know he's probably not going to accept that, his reputation will not allow that to be accepted. Gleyber Torres, unfortunately, will not be a Yankee unless Soto doesn't come back. If Soto doesn't come back, then you could probably book Gleyber. And obviously, there's a lot of money to be spent there amongst other players in this league. But Soto's priority. Nothing gets done unless Soto gets done.
Isn't Gleyber making 15 now?
Yeah.
So he's not going to want to take that.
Yeah,
right?
well,
he's going to want more than that.
Well,
right?
that's market value is what I'm saying. That's the same. 15 to 18 million, nothing more than that. Nothing more than 18 million for Gleyber Torres. Again, it's not my money. It's Hal Steinbrenner money, right? This is Play-Doh money to me, or Monopoly money when we get down to it. It's all going to come down to, like I said, I have my priorities. My priority number 1 is Juan Soto. Second priority is addressing the bullpen and bringing back who we have to bring back, adding additions so that we can add whatever. My last priority is Gleyber Torres. That's the last priority I have on my wish list. I want to shout out some people before we can continue. Shout out to Rodney Green in the building. Rodney, how you doing, my guy? Salute to you. My guy Ghost is in the building. And like I said earlier, shout out to everybody who has contributed with Uptown Sports TV. My guy Ghost, of course, Grace and Damien. We got Alan and Brent who do the Jets show on Wednesday. Shout out to the guys from the Pop-Off show on Friday. My guy Woody, my guy Gene, my guy Caleb, and my guy Nigel as well. Shout out to everybody who supports and who are a part of Uptown Sports TV. We are going to be doing a lot of great stuff this season when it comes to the Knicks. So be on the lookout for that. The Liberty just won a championship, and now the Yankees are in the World Series, and we are, as of right now, hold on, wait, just want to let you guys know, we are 6 episodes away from episode 300 of the Yankees Morning Brew. So stay tuned in while we give you all Yankees coverage for the rest of this World Series. Shout out to Theo AA who is in the building. If you guys can, smack that like button. We got 90 people watching us. We got over 50 people watching us on YouTube. So if we can, let's smack the like button. Let's try to get to as close as we can to 50 likes on the stream. Damien, I'm gonna toss it over to you. Lead the convo. What's your priorities? What are you looking for? What are your key matchups in this postseason run? I mean, World Series run.
Yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, I want to know what Hal's thoughts are when he said early this season it doesn't take $300 million payroll to win a championship. Hal, I wonder what your thoughts are now, because it kind of seems like it does, right? Just wanted to put that out there, Hal. So, listen, key priorities to this playoffs is, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, is Aaron Judge. Is Judge going to be Judge? Judge has great numbers against LA. He has great numbers in LA. California kid, game one, obviously in California. The biggest thing, the key matchups is game one. We have to take game one. You got Garrett Cole on the mound. It's going to set the tone of the series. We get at least a minimum 6 runs from Cole, no more than 2 earned runs. Yankees will win this series. They'll take it this full 7, more than likely, but the Yankees will take it the full 7 and win the series. Again, 4 games to 3. But it's game one. Game one means everything. It's the tone setter. It's a tone setter of a first-round fight. It's a tone setter of a first quarter football game. It's a tone setter for a first round in basketball. You name it. It's always the first of anything. Game one, first inning, is going to set the tone for the entire series. Happy birthday to Juan Soto tomorrow. He's going to have a home run birthday.
Y'all, I am upset, okay? Because I have a Maryland gig tomorrow night. I'm gonna miss the game, y'all, and maybe I buried the lead. I mean, this is Yankees are like my whole life, and here I am. And Hector, I blame you. I blame Hector because weeks ago I was like, Hector, should I take this gig? And he was like, yeah, go ahead, take it. I'm like, no, but what if we make it to the World Series? He's like, girl, you better get your money. So now here I am
because you're making a pretty penny on it. Like I love the Yankees. I love the Yankees as more as the next person, but if I had the opportunity to make what Grace is gonna make, my Bluetooth is on and I'm in the room. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Everybody calling. Hector's doing Marilyn Monroe shows.
Yeah.
There you go.
I quoted them an astronomical hourly rate, okay, because I wanted them to say no, and they said okay, and I'm like, shit. Now I have to do this gig. It's at 7 o'clock Texas time, which is the time of the game start. 8 o'clock Eastern is 7 o'clock Central. That's when my gig starts, 7 o'clock. I'm going to be done at around 8:30, and then I'll be going to my car, turning on the radio right away, turning on everything I can turn on. But I'm probably going to miss, the majority, if not all, of Garrett Cole in the game. I'm very upset.
Thing is, the in the playoff, the games have been averaging close to 3 hours. Or
okay, so I might catch it in. Okay, all right,
the commercials are longer in the postseason than the regular season. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to make sure that our group chat, we ain't spoiled. Damien, we got to text individually. We don't want to spoil nothing in the group chat we got for Grace.
No, y'all can text me. I won't be able to read it till after. But I need y'all, Hector, Damien, everybody in the chat. Y'all need to hold it down for me, please, until I can come, turn the game on, and get caught up because it's hurting me. My daddy Cole, his lifelong dream,
Don't
his
worry.
baby Yankee, today, tomorrow, forever sign. He's finally pitching in the World Series, and it's in California where he's from, and I'm gonna miss it. Oh.
I just wanna let everybody know we got over 90 people. Over 90 people watching it, so we got to drop this for game one tomorrow. If you guys are in New York City, if you guys can stop by the Tryon Public House, we are having a game one World Series watch party tomorrow. If you guys are in New York City, you could take the H train to Dyckman Ave. That's 4740 Broadway, the Tryon Public House. We have a Spencer Jones signed autograph ball we're giving away. We have a Clay Holmes signed 8x10 autograph picture we're giving away. And then we're giving some other Yankees merch as well, some t-shirts, some sweaters, some tumblers as well. So like I said, if you're in New York City, you can reach out to me, Uptown Sports TV on Instagram, Project Nerd HQ on Instagram. Like I said, World Series Game 1 watch party will be at the Tryon Public House. We have some special buy-ins. Like I said, we have a Spencer Jones signed autograph ball, which is authenticated. We have a Clay Holmes 8x10. So it's going to be a good time. I can't wait for it. Shout out to Theo AA with the 199 super chat, helping us keep the lights on. Smack that like button. Smack that like button. Let's try to get to as close as we can to 50 likes on the stream. Grace, throw it over to you. Lead the convo before we get ready to wrap things up.
Let me say
guys,
one thing.
really quick. I gotta go. I just want to say, everybody have a great day. Yankees game 1, Cole, 6 innings, 2 earned. Juan Soto, Judge, go back to back. Yankees win game 1, 6-2. Let's get it.
Dame, love you, my guy. You be safe, bro. Have a good day at work, brother.
Have a great day, guys. Take care.
Later. It's my guy, Damien Serrano. Hold on, let me just fix this up. Go ahead.
So I have to say, Nosebleed in the chat said, Grace, I will stay off X until you post a comment. That's what I'm talking about. That's the team. One team, one dream. We're all in it together. The family. Y'all, I have to say this because I stay on, like, during the Yankees games, I like live tweet the whole thing. And I'm going through all the emotions. I am dramatic, as y'all know. Going up and down and just living and tweeting before I proofread and all kinds of stuff. And Nosebleed is always there. We're talking all the time on X. And I'll laugh or something, and my husband will be like, "Who are you talking to? Who are you laughing at?" And I'm like, Nosebleed? Like, what is his name? I don't know his name, so I just keep calling him Nosebleed. And my husband's like, Nosebleed? And I'm like, that's his name on the internet. I don't know his real name, but like, he's my friend. I don't know his name. I call him Nosebleed. Anyway, y'all, thank you. You don't have to abstain from the game, but you know, I appreciate the solidarity. I will get there as soon as I can. I swear.
Like Ghost says, Yankees lifestyle, stress, happy, and sad. Absolutely, Ghost. That's the emotions and the roller coaster Yankee fans have gone on this entire season. I just want to take a look real quick at the matchups because, like we said, Jack Flaherty is going in game 1 against Garrett Cole. I just want to make sure Walker Buehler should be lined up to go into game 2. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure I have the pitching matchups correct. Yeah, Yamamoto is in game 2. It's undecided for the Yankees. I would think that is Carlos Rodon just because the Yankees have had how many off days since the last time Rodon has pitched. So I would say it should be Rodon. It's undecided as of right now. So it is Yamamoto in game 2.
I was hearing that Rodon may start at home because of the short porch and the Dodgers' possible advantage against righty at home would be. I think I'm saying this right. And so some people are theorizing that Schmidt could get the second start in Dodger Stadium. They haven't announced yet. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I think, to me, I would think what happened. I don't know. It's so tricky, but I would be like, did we win game 1 or did we lose game 1? Because if we lost game 1, then I might put Schmidt. If we win game 1, then maybe Rodon. But you can't like treat your pitchers that way. You know, they need to know what's going on. So I really don't know what they're going to do. Also, Yamamoto is way better at home than on the road, apparently. Yeah. And so I don't know. There's so much strategy that goes into everything.
If I'm the Yankees and I'm trying to keep the Dodgers in the black or not knowing what I'm going to do, I'm still going to let Carlos Rodon know. So the Yankees may not have let it be known publicly who they're going with for game 2, but internally, if they have that decision on who they're going with, I think either Carlos Rodon or Clark Smith know it's either going to be them or it's not going to be them, right?
Well, Hector, they punish lefties. The Dodgers, they're like the opposite of the Yankees. They love hitting against lefties. So with that being said, and them being at home and the short porch at Yankee Stadium, like I don't know. I don't know if they're going to start Carlos Rodon in Dodger Stadium. I don't know.
No, their lineup, they have a nice balance of lefties and righties, but like you said, their lineup, they hit lefties so well. So you may want to have Carlos Rodon at Yankee Stadium because it is a bigger left center field for their right-handed hitters they have.
Right.
So I could see that logic. If we're up 1-0, I don't mind Clark Schmidt getting that start in game 2. It's just if we lose game 1, and how is Clark Schmidt going to respond being down 1-0 in the World Series? That's the thing, right? Being down against the Dodgers. Now you don't want to be down 2-0 coming back to Yankee Stadium. Then you're going to force your team to win the next 3 games at home and then go back to Dodger Stadium. So if you're the Yankees, game 1 is a priority. It sets the tone not only for your team, but for the Dodgers and for the rest of that series.
Absolutely. And then how does that affect a possible game 6 or a possible game 7, depending on who you throw? I mean, that's another thing you have to consider as well. So it's, do you want Schmidt on the mound for game 7, or do you want Rodon on the mound for game 7? Or you know what I mean? Who do you think could be ready at that far down? You got to consider that as well, right? I mean, I that's what I'm wondering, when the Dodgers are going to put their bullpen game in, because then when are we going to see a second possible bullpen game, which would not be advantageous for the Dodgers, especially if we're getting to the bullpen early and we're seeing the bullpen, and then we have possibly 2 bullpen games in the 7-game series. Like, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. Yeah.
It's just the rest of the guys, and that's the thing. At any moment, Giancarlo Stanton can go cold, right? And at any moment, Anthony Volpe can go cold. So we need the other guys to step up. We know what we're going to, what you're going to get out of Juan Soto, right? We already know that. Is Gleyber Torres going to continue producing at the level that he has been producing? That's the question. What are we going to get out of Alex Verdugo? What are we going to get out of Jazz Chisholm, being though Jazz Chisholm didn't have a good ALCS or ALDS? What are we going to get out of Jazz, right? So yes, we know what we're going to get out of Soto. Hopefully Giancarlo Stanton can still keep going, but what are we going to get out of Aaron Judge? We are lucky that we're here right now and Aaron Judge has given you what he has given you. If we didn't have Juan Soto, we wouldn't be here in the World Series. That's just there. Yes, Giancarlo Stanton has gone off, but without having someone else like an Aaron Judge go off to go alongside of Giancarlo Stanton, you're waiting for Judge to still have his moment. And I think the Yankees, in order for us to raise that trophy, to have that parade down Fifth Avenue in New York City, in order for that to happen, Aaron Judge has to have a solid World Series. He needs to hit over 300. He needs to have multi-home run. He needs to have multiple home runs in the series. We can't have Aaron Judge hit below 250 with one home run in the World Series and think we're going to win best out of 7 against the Dodgers, who arguably had a better record than the Yankees.
I just have a feeling that Judge is going to do it. I don't know why. I can't explain it.
I want to have that feeling too. Hopefully he does, Grace. Hopefully he does.
The stage is set, Hector. I mean, this is his moment, okay? Giancarlo already got his CS MVP, right? Juan Soto is about to get all the attention in the offseason. Aaron Judge is in California, where he's from. He's playing the Dodgers, who he plays well against. It's Ohtani versus Judge, which he loves that competition and that kind of, 1A versus 1B versus who is going to be. He's the home run king of the AL. Ohtani is the home run king of the NL. We're the best team in the American League. They're the best team in the National League. I mean, it is the time, and we're going to see it play out. I think Aaron Judge is going to step up. He's due. If you believe in due, he is due. He's going to have a little bit of a rest. He's got redemption he wants from that Dodgers outfield wall. I think with Giancarlo producing, with Torres producing, with Soto producing, It's time for Judge. It's time for Judge.
Just to let everybody know, Anthony Volpe, right? And this is from MLB Network. Anthony Volpe has put together a strong first postseason so far, reaching base safely in all 9 games that he has played them. He has a 459 on base percentage. It is the highest among 8 qualified Yankee hitters. So I'm gonna say that again. Anthony Volpe, he has a 459 on base percentage. That is higher than Juan Soto. That is higher than Aaron Judge. That is higher than Giancarlo Stanton. That is the highest among any Yankee that is in the World Series as of right now. When you look at what Anthony Volpe has done in the postseason, night and day comparison than what he was doing at the end of the regular season. At the end of the regular season, we would talk, oh, Anthony Volpe needs to rest. He looks gassed. He looks defeated. And now Volpe has turned into the hitter that he was at the beginning of the season when he was crushing it for those first 3 to 4 weeks. Let's just hope that this is something that is sustainable and is not just going to disappear in the first in this round of the postseason like it did at the end of the first month of the regular season.
Yeah, he does so well after a little bit of rest. He does so well after a little bit of rest. I think what I want to see is I want to see Austin Wells with a little bit more plate discipline in this series. I want to see Volpe just continue. I mean, look, we are in a privileged position. If you can say, hey, I want this guy to continue, this guy to continue, this guy to continue, this guy, that's a privileged place to be, okay? We are there. Torres, you're good. Soto, you're good. Judge, I need you to just be yourself and be a little bit more confident, and I know you got this. Giancarlo, continue. Jazz, same thing, right? I don't know the possible lineup, but I'm just going off my head. Jazz, the uppercut swing, the hero ball, whatever you're trying to do, just chill out with all that. Get on base, steal some bags, play a good solid third base, and we'll be cool. Like, Volpe, do what you were doing. You know, Wells, like I already said, Wells. Rizzo, my guy. Everybody's talking about Freddie Freeman and his ankle. Could we please talk about Anthony Rizzo and his broken hand?
That's what I'm talking about.
Both of the first basemen are playing hurt. They are, and they want it so bad. Freddie Freeman, former World Series champion. Anthony Rizzo, former World Series champion. Freddie Freeman, future Hall of Famer. Anthony Rizzo, future Hall of Famer. Freddie Freeman, first baseman guy. So is Anthony Rizzo. Like, both of them playing hurt. This is such a matchup, y'all. This is, like I said at the beginning of the show today, instant classic. Enjoy every minute. Don't book a Maryland gig during the World. Oh, God. But yes, this is going to be a wild, incredible baseball ride. 8 or more future Hall of Famers on the field. I mean, we haven't had that in a long time, you know, and this is going to be amazing.
I just want to say shout out to you and your Maryland gig. And shout out to the 90 people that are in the chat watching us, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Twitter. If you guys can, click the link in the bio, jump on over to YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a comment in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, if you're one of the 50 people that are watching us, we're on 36 likes. If you guys can, if you haven't smacked that like button, hit the like button. Let's try to get to 50 likes or as close as we can to 50 on the stream. Interact with the emojis. It helps us when it comes to YouTube and the algorithm. And one last thing, Yankee fans, we got to talk about Garrett Cole, right? And you brought up Anthony Rizzo, you brought up Juan Soto being there, winning a championship, having that experience of being in the World Series. But somebody who has been there and who has not won is Garrett Cole. He was there in the World Series with the Houston Astros when Juan Soto and the Nationals beat them. And Garrett Cole, this is according to Baseball Reference, Garrett Cole is currently one of 4 pitchers with 20 postseason starts to have a sub-3 ERA. Garrett Cole is the 4th on that list behind Whitey Ford, a former Yankee as well. Garrett Cole, he wants this. He has a Cy Young Award. He has the All-Star selections. He is missing the World Series title and the World Series ring. One thing that we know about Garrett Cole, when he locks in and when he is focused, he is the best pitcher in baseball. And in the postseason, he is at the most when he is locked in that World Series. There's no other stage that is higher than the World Series. Yes, he did not have a great performance against the Guardians in that one game against the Guardians. I look for Garrett Cole to bounce back against the Dodgers. He is in the right environment in the World Series, in the postseason when everything is on the line.
A quote came out this week from Nestor where he said, and I'm going to paraphrase, please forgive me, y'all go look up the quote if you're interested or if you haven't heard it, but Nestor basically said, more or less, if I get a ring and then I have a year off baseball, it is what it is. Meaning that Nestor is nursing a serious elbow injury, and he is willing to put it all out there for his team, for his legacy, for his career, for his future, to win this World Series. But here's my point why I'm bringing this up. I believe that Garrett Cole is in the same exact boat.
Mm-hmm.
But he got his news about his tendon and his elbow months ago. And this man said, you know what? I'm going to pitch through it. He went to multiple specialists. They said, if you rest, if you do this, if you XYZ, then maybe you could maybe make it through. And Garrett Cole said, bet. I am not going to miss this season with Juan Soto for nothing. And then people roasted him for coming back with his velo down, and he was mixing in new pitches that we hadn't seen him do. He was leaning on the knuckle curve a lot more than throwing the four seam. He wasn't doing the same thing that he had been doing when he won his Cy Young and when he did all that stuff. Yeah, guys, I think there's a reason for that. I think the reason for that is he is still nursing this injury. He probably needs surgery, but he is absolutely putting it all out there for the team, and he's been doing it for months. I believe that he has still got stuff in the tank that he's been holding back on, that he is going to let it fly in the World Series. I'm looking for Garrett Cole to be looking more like Garrett Cole in the World Series. You guys, I just have this feeling about it. And that's just my feeling. So not only is Nestor on the verge of a serious injury and just gonna give us everything he's got, so is Cole. That's my feeling.
When you yesterday, Nestor Cortez was being interviewed by the media and stuff like that. Brian Host, they asked Nestor Cortez about coming back with that elbow concerns and possibly having to go under the knife and missing an entire season because he has to get Tommy John if he injures himself. This is what Nestor Cortez said. He said, if I have a ring and then I have to take a year off from baseball, so be it. He wants to win. He wants to help his team win. And Nestor Cortez, when Garrett Cole was down, when all of our Nestor Cortez is our only starter this season that has 30 starts. Just put that in your mind. The only starter that we have that had 30 starts. He has been the most consistent starter for us from day one up until the end of September when he got injured. It kills Nestor Cortez that he cannot be out there contributing with his team. And he is willing to risk not only next year, but the rest of his career to try to help his team win a championship. That right there is dangerous. Maybe it's not the smartest decision in the world, but you can't tell somebody who's a team player what to do for their team. So I got to take my hat off. Salute Nestor Cortez. Is he a lunatic? He may be a lunatic, but shout out to Nestor Cortez. That's heart right there.
Yep, absolutely. I totally agree. I got goosebumps. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I want to shout out Old Sarge real quick. Old Sarge, who is in the building. Sunil's in the building. Rakaya Channel is in the building. Beat the Dodgers. If the Dodgers lose the World Series, Dave Roberts will be fired. Then Ohtani can opt out of his contract. Remember, he has a clause on his contract. If the management gets fired, then he gets to opt out. Ooh.
Really?
I forgot about that. Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, I remember that being a part of the conversation. So shout out to Rakaya Channel for bringing that up. Grace, I want to throw it over to you. Last thoughts before we close it out. Again, guys, smack the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got over 100 people watching us collectively. Por favor, help us out. Go ahead, Grace.
My last thoughts are, my last thing that I can say before we play a game. I think this is going to be the most incredible World Series that I've seen in a long, long time. And I'm going to try to enjoy every moment. That being said, I want the Yankees to win. number 28. It's been too long. We must reclaim the throne. And I think it will take 7 games. I hope it doesn't. I would love the Yankees to win in 5 or 6. But my feeling is these teams overall are just so evenly matched. Okay, one team has a little advantage here, the other team has a little advantage here, and so on and so on. And overall, it's even. So what does that mean to me? That means to me, you cannot beat yourself. It's just like in football, when you got to control the turnovers, okay? Same thing in baseball. You guys, please, no base running errors. Please play smart, fundamental baseball, and we will win. That's what I believe. We have the better pitching overall. Pitching wins championships. Defense wins championships. If our pitchers pitch and we don't beat ourselves, we're going to go to 7 games and we're going to win number 28. That's my last thing to say. And go Yankees.
Go Yankees. Win number 28, like my guy Ghost said. Shout out to Theo AA. Shout out to Theo Nosebleed Section. Sunil as well. Ness TBG was in the building. Kevin NYC 85. I agree. It's going to be fun. Shout out to you, Kev. We are sitting at 4,446 subscribers on our way to 5K. If you guys are watching us for the first time, hit that subscribe button. If you guys have different friend groups or different group chats on social media, share us with your friends. Let's get more Yankee fans involved in the conversation. Share us on Facebook, share us on Twitter. But like always, let's go Yankees. Say something positive about yourself. Tomorrow, the Yankees face the Dodgers, game 1 of the World Series. I'm super excited, not only as a Yankee fan, but as a Yankee content creator as well. Super excited that I'm able to have these conversations with my good friend Grace Monroe, with my good guy Damien Serrano, with my guy Ghost as well. Go ahead, Grace.
You know what else? I have to say this, Hector. I'm so glad you said that because I've been wanting to say this. This has been on my heart for like 2 weeks, and I gotta say it. I'm gonna try really, really hard not to cry. If I cry, y'all just love me anyway, okay? Because here's the thing. I was telling you that I dug up a picture of myself 15 years ago, the last time the Yankees won the World Series, and here's what I want to say. 15 years ago, because you were talking about being a content creator and being grateful, and that's what reminded me of this. 15 years ago, I watched the World Series by myself. I had no friends that love the Yankees. I have friends, y'all, but they don't like the Yankees. No boyfriend that liked the Yankees. No, nobody. I watched the games alone. I celebrated alone. And I wished in my heart for Yankees friends, for Yankees family. I'm out here in Texas, y'all. It's not like I could go down the street and meet somebody who likes the New York Yankees, okay? I now have that because of this show, because of you, Hector, because of all the people in the chat. And I am just, my cup overfloweth with gratefulness and thankfulness that I have all of you beautiful people to share the Yankees glory with, to talk to on X during the games, to be able to text you and say, why is Clay Holmes coming in right now? Like, I have people now to text and to call and to talk to and to chat with. And I'm so, so, so grateful for you guys. And I did it without crying. So with that being said, let's go Yankees.
Yes, Grace.
Love you.
We are stuck together. You can't get rid of me now, Grace. But again, shout out to chat. Again, it's so fun being able to do this. And I started covering the Yankees a few years ago. Worked with different people over the few years, and being able to share this, being back in the World Series with all of you guys. It's over 100 people in the building that's watching us. Almost 4,500 on the subscribers. It's awesome. It's been a good time. And until next time, drink some water, say something positive about yourself. Let's go Yankees. And we got to end it with the Juan Soto song because Grace is going to kill me if I don't. Juan Sotito, vámonos, coño.
Y en Juan of Juan el 22, con todos los números que ha puesto, acabó con todo. El Bronx, Yankee, que viva New York, el Bronx, que viva New York, el Bronx, que viva New York. Los mejores fanáticos están en Nueva York, el Bronx, el Bronx, el Bronx. Soto, sácala, sácala, el Bronx, Yankee, que viva New York.
You out well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.